Conservative new media viewers, JLin fans around the world, what's up? It's me, PFA Paul F. Villarreal, the NBA expert, and we're here to discuss the Brooklyn Nets 109-100 victory tonight over the Sacramento Kings in Sacramento, California. Nets improved to, I think 10-49. I'm looking at the stats here, but they don't. Yes, 10-49 on the season, including 3-25 on the road. Sacramento falls to 25-36 on the season. 16-game losing streak for the Nets is finally over, and you know what that means. It means woo-hoo. Man, that was a great win. And if you watch the video that I made earlier today about JLin being optimistic for the Nets and turning things around, that really played out in this game. I talked about their point guards and their playmakers. And late in this game, when Coach Atkinson wanted to close it out, what was the lineup? The lineup was JLin, Spencer Dinwiddie, Caris LeVert, I think Trevor Booker, and Brook Lopez. What I said in the video earlier today was, I can't wait to see the lineup of Lin, Dinwiddie, and LeVert, because then you have three playmakers on the court at the same time, and that's going to give the defense real problems. And it did. And what it also says to me is Coach Atkinson is really on point. He gets it. He knows. He's figuring it out, what the lineup needs to be to maximize this team, particularly when you're playing for the win. And you're not just, okay, you're down and you want to play your different guys. It's a no, we're going for the win. Then go with your ball handlers and your playmakers and let them create. And that's what Brooklyn did down the stretch of this game. Now, the statistics don't look incredible. The last three games coming into tonight's game, Brooklyn had 30 assists, 29 assists, and 25 assists. In this game, they only had 16 assists and 18 turnovers. So it wasn't picture perfect. It doesn't matter. If you win, you win. You do want more assists. There were a number of unconverted assist opportunities in this game for Jeremy and for some of the other players. Sometimes you just don't shoot as well as other nights, although the Nets shot 46%, which is pretty good. It's not incredible, but it's pretty good. 11 of 28 from three, that's really good. 39%. They shot the free throws well. They did turn the ball over too much. Surprisingly, I didn't think the bench was that great tonight, which usually the bench is the strength of the team, but tonight the starters were better. JLin, 17 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists. Jeremy played 20 minutes, shot 5 of 10 from the field, including 2 of 3 from three-point range, 5 of 6 on free throws, no steals, no block shots, 2 turnovers, 1 personal foul, plus 10. And I mean, to be able to score 17 points in 20 minutes is really good. 5 assists, 2 turnovers, 2.5 to 1 assist to turnover ratio, good. Jeremy looked sharp. He was very lively, very active on both ends of the floor. And he's definitely the best playmaker on the team. And I think the team understands that. He's the guy that's most able to make things happen. I think he probably has the best court vision on the team also, although I'd have to study Dinwiddie a little bit more to be able to say that authoritatively. Court vision is the ability to see the court. I know obviously it's what it sounds like, but that means how much of the court are you able to kind of take in and make passes to it? Like, can you see guys out of the corner of your eye? Do you know where guys are going to be? Can you feel where guys are going to be? It's almost like it's what you can physically see, but it's also a feeling. It's a sense. It's kind of an understanding of where guys will be and should be. Jeremy is definitely better at that than Karis LeVert is, at least in this point in Karis LeVert's career. I would imagine that he's better at it than Spencer Dinwiddie also, but I'm not sure. Jeremy has an extremely high level of court vision, even among the entire NBA. The problem for Jeremy is sometimes he can't make a pass that he can see is available. In other words, he can see where a guy is, but he might not be able to physically deliver the pass where he wants it. And so sometimes that's when he'll get into trouble. He knows it's there, but he's not able to make the pass that you need to make in order to get it to a guy. And that's where sometimes you have to kind of work within your limits. In other words, guys that are taller have an easier time making passes because they can see over other guys, over like defenders, and they're bigger, so they might be able to physically do things that shorter guys can't do. Jeremy, like I said, he might have the court vision, but he might not be able to physically be able to make certain things all the time. So you have to say, okay, I can see it, but I can't make the pass, so I'm just not going to try to make the pass. I think that's the type of thing that Jeremy will get into trouble with every now and then. Still, court vision is extremely important, particularly for a point guard. You have to have it, and the more you have it, the better you will do. And Jeremy's just exceptional with that. And he's also an exceptional passer in general. Even if there are certain plays he can't make, well, there's certain plays everybody can't make, or almost everybody can't make. So he played terrific in this game. His minutes went up to 20 minutes. So the first 3 games back, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. He played in the fourth quarter tonight, as I mentioned, and he played in the fourth quarter because this was a winnable game. And my understanding of the last game, the Golden State game, was that I don't think that coach wanted to play Jeremy more than 15 minutes. Like, I read something about it after the fact, and it looked like the idea was he's not going to play more than 15 minutes, and that's why he didn't come back into that game, even though it got down to an 8-point lead. I think the plan was just Jeremy's playing 15 minutes, and that's it. Obviously, that went up to 20 minutes tonight. And maybe this will be the pattern. Maybe they'll go up in 5-minute increments every third game. So maybe the next game's 20 minutes, and the game after that, maybe it's 25 minutes. I'm going to have to see how Jeremy feels and how his body responds. The most important thing above everything for Jeremy is don't get hurt again. Particularly, don't hurt your hamstring again, because you've hurt it 3 times already this year, the same hamstring, and you don't want that. You do not want chronic hamstring issues. That's really could really affect his career. So if they have to go very, very gently with the minutes increases, that's fine. Look, if you can score 17 points and get 5 assists, it doesn't matter how many minutes you played. You played a good game, and you helped your team win. So it was just an excellent outing. We'll go over a couple more stats. Brook, 24 points, 8 rebounds. Karis LeVert, 13 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists in his third career start. I've said all year about LeVert, he is incredibly talented. He's just a great pick by the Nets. Please, we hope he can stay healthy, because he has a bright future. Isaiah Whitehead off the bench. Now remember, we said he's the third point guard in the rotation, and this also tells you what coach is thinking. Remember, Whitehead is the 11th man in the rotation. To be on tonight, Quincy Acey was 12th man, and I think Quincy Acey played tonight because Justin Hamilton got into foul trouble relatively early. Now, I don't think coach is going to play 12 guys most nights. I think he wants to play 11 guys. Whitehead is the 11th guy. But what it says is Coach Atkinson values and understands the importance of point guards on the floor. So in other words, if you're going to have one extra man in your rotation, then what Coach Atkinson seems to be saying right now is, I'm going to make that a point guard. In other words, there's only going to be 3 of one position that is in this rotation, and that position is point guard and not any other position. And Isaiah Whitehead did fantastic tonight, 14 points, 2 rebounds. He did have 4 turnovers, and he had no assists. He's been struggling with the turnovers and assist ratio lately. That's why he's the 3rd point guard now behind Dinwiddie. However, Isaiah's shown he can play this year. Atkinson knows he can play, and he wants more point guards and ball handlers and playmakers on the court. And that's why he's getting a chance. And tonight he was a scorer, and he did really well with that. The goal here is the Nets want to play. They want to play somewhat like the Spurs, and they also want to play like the Warriors. The Warriors, their death lineup, they're the lineup they go to when it's closing time in a game. Everybody can handle the ball, and everybody can make plays. Curry, Thompson, Durant, Iguodala, and Draymond Green. Or Sean Livingston maybe in the spot of Iguodala. All of those guys can handle. All of them can pass. And that puts tremendous pressure on the defense. That's what the Nets want to do. Now, not every team can do that, because not every center can make plays like Draymond Green when he plays center. And so, or not every power forward, center, or even small forwards necessarily can make those kinds of plays. But that's what you want. That's why Karis LeVert playing small forward is such a luxury, because he can make plays. And I think that's what Brooklyn wants. They want as many guys who can shoot. They want as many skilled guys as they can get at every single position, so that they can have versatility and play small ball and run up and down, and everybody can pass to everybody else, and everybody's capable of basically playing point guard and so forth. That's the idea. That's the concept behind what they do, as well as run all game with a high pace. And that's, and wear other teams down with your depth. Play 11 men when other teams might play 8 or 9 men, and wear them out. Those are kind of the basic principles of what Brooklyn's offensive approach is. Tonight looked great. I felt this was a really winnable game for the Nets, and it turned out to be that way. And it's just great. This isn't a dramatic, incredible win that signifies everything has changed, but it's just another step on the road to progress. And it's a game that the Nets should have won, given how depleted Sacramento's roster is since they traded DeMarcus Cousins. And the Nets went out and they won it. And so that's definitely a good thing. And now the team can start building a little bit of confidence. What they did worked. Karis LeVert got the start. He performed well. Jeremy's leg held up. The finishing lineup with the 3 playmakers in it worked. Great. So let's move on to the next game and see what can happen. And that next game is coming up 2 days from now on Friday, March 3rd, against the Utah Jazz in Salt Lake City, Utah. Utah is a good team. That's going to be a tough game, and Utah is very good in their own building. Salt Lake City is at altitude. I don't think that the altitude is as high as Denver is, but it's pretty high. So the Jazz are good at playing their own buildings and their own building. Maybe they kind of wear you down a little bit, but with the Nets' depth, that shouldn't affect them too much. However, the Jazz they're just a good team, and they're particularly good on defense, I believe. So that's going to be a challenging game. I'm sure that Utah is going to be favored, but if the Nets are able to play something like they played tonight and be actually a little bit sharper. That assist to turnover ratio is going to need to be better than 1-to-1. They should be able to compete in the game. They should be able to compete and put themselves into at least a decent position to be in the game as we go down in the fourth quarter. That's what we're looking for right now. As I said in the earlier video today, the Nets offense should definitely improve. That doesn't mean they're going to win every game, though, because they still have to work on defense. There's still there's still talent levels to be raised and so forth. But if they can make more and more games competitive, then they can start winning some of these games. And that's what they were able to do against Sacramento. And hopefully they'll be able to do that against Utah. And we will find out just a couple of days from now. That's about all I have to say. I hope you're having a great night or great day wherever you are around the world when you watch this video. Take care. We will talk to you again soon. Excellent night for the team. They get the win after the 16 losses in a row. Jeremy plays great. Jeremy, as far as I could tell, seemed perfectly healthy at the end of the game. So his comeback continues, and we move on as this 8-game road trip continues to its fourth stop, I believe it is. Yeah, the fourth stop on the trip, which will be Salt Lake City, Utah. See ya in just a couple of days from now.